Hey guys, this is like probably like my second, third video. I'm just trying to get into this sort of stuff, and today I thought I'd go a bit out of my comfort zone and make a tier list video with the spells that we have for EU anyway, or what I was able to gather. Um, I can't really go over the caramel spells because I don't have them. But obviously I can go over the ones that I do have access to, which are these ones, and these are the sort of spells that every normal wizard in a regular level should like rank them in how they are today in 2023. So I found this cool website called tiermaker.com, and you know it's pretty cool. So obviously we've got them rated from S, A, B, C, D, F tier, and obviously S being like OP and F being well bad. Um, and I'll start with like the like four like all the AOE spells that you get, like the first AOE spells. So with Human Frog and all sorts, I think they're just kind of like A tier, like they're like the spells that you just literally use regularly, like no matter what you're doing. Um, but yeah, apart from that, I think overall they're just pretty dirt spells. And I've lost all the other, I've lost all the other ones. I'm not going to put Tempest into this one though, because personally I think that Tempest is literally OP. Like it's it throws these four out the park. Like you know, just go for Tempest if you've got Tempest. Um, what next? For the crafted spells, I think Dear Knight is okay. Like I wouldn't say it's great, personally. Like if you've got like good stats and obviously some good PS and shit, then oops, sorry. Then you roll in, but overall it's not a favourite of mine. And if you are a Death Wizard and you love this spell, it's good for PvP personally, I believe. But overall it's not it for me. Um, where else are we? With Ratatoska, I think that's a pretty A tier spell as well, to be honest. Like it's on par with these spells, and there's obviously with the spell limit tiers, if you get it upgraded to max, then it could be even reclassed as AP. But obviously, on a generic scale, it's A tier. Um, with Power Nova, I don't know. With this spell, they nerfed it quite a bit because it used to give weakness, I believe, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure it did. Um, but overall, it's a good spell. Most of the 7-pip spells are all pretty decent, to be honest. Um, Ra is just it speaks for itself. Fire Dragon is OP. Like you literally get a spell on fire and you literally just roll through all these fights that you're doing. Like there's no struggle there really. Um, Forest Lord is a good hit, but I wouldn't say it's like the best out of all of them. Um, I can't even see half of these. Jesus. um, this is also a good spell. Like Death is such a good school just to solo with. Like if you once you get the spell with Death, you no longer seem to struggle, and if you do, then it's probably just an issue with your gear or an issue with how you're playing your cards. But overall, once you get the spell as a Death Wizard, you are literally on a steam drain. Like nothing is stopping you. With Stormlord, once again, I'd probably say it's OP. Um, it seems like all the spells are going into the AP section, but overall, it's definitely S tier. Like it's definitely a spell that once you get on that score, you're definitely going to want to use it all the time. With Frost Giant, I think it's probably a B tier. Like the damage on it isn't great. The stun's nice, but obviously when you get to a certain point, most bosses are just stun immune anyway. So the lower damage for the extra effect that you get off it is just null and void, so it doesn't really give you that extra that you wanted. Um, where else are we? Is that all of them? I must be blind. With Earthquake, I don't know really, like, it's a good spell, the damage isn't great, but obviously the removing all shields, traps, blades, everything, it's a really good spell. So obviously I think it's very situational, so I'm just going to put that there. Reindeer Knight is kind of mid, really. It's a good ice spell, good hit. Obviously, it's behind the case of, you either need to farm Lore Master for it, but I'm pretty sure she doesn't even drop them anymore. She only drops elements, or you need to open a pack, which is obviously behind a paywall. So it's a bit doo doo. Rain of Fire. I don't know. I think the overtime is good, but the initial hit is really really bad. Most of the time, anyway. I think that obviously, if you're able to cast a spell and you're able to get the full benefit of it, then it's definitely an A tier, maybe even an S tier. But obviously, it's overall you're not going to be using that spell as often as you would like to think that you would be. So I'm just going to put that in A tier. Snow Angel, once again, the effect that you get off it, which is the taunt, it's not really worth it for lacking damage. Like, it's a good spell overall, but it's just not. It's just not great, to be honest. So that's going to go into B tier. With Sirens, I think this spell used to be so much stronger than what it is now. If it was in its meta that it was, I would say S tier, excluding the pip count, obviously, but now I'll probably just put it into A tier with the rest of the spells. Sunbird, I would say this spell is, if you got your blades, you got your setup right, and you got your damage going in the right direction that you need it to be going, then this spell is probably solid A tier as well. For a bot, I'd probably only use it for a boss, but apart from that, I probably wouldn't see myself using it at all, like not in PvP or anything, because by the time you get there, you're probably about to die anyway. So, Scold, I'd probably say this is like a C tier. Like, it's very situational. You know, you're not always going to be using it, and half the time it's not even worth the pips. Cthulhu, oh Cthulhu. No comment, just Cthulhu. Christmas Curse, Unscan. Overall, I think the Divide spells are, apart from probably Iron Sultan, I probably wouldn't say that like they're overly aggressive in terms of damage, but obviously being able to split that damage or do it in directly one target or two targets is a really good thing to have. So I think if I think if it was in the situation where you needed to only attack a certain target, it would be really really good, and it's just what you would want to go for. So I'm gonna say that that's B tier and situational once again. Iron Sultan, even though it's the same premise, its damage is really good. So I'm gonna put that in A tier. Lama Rasu, same premise, situational, along with a spell. Snake Charmer, I don't know. It's on the same premise as Iron Sultan. Like, the damage is pretty good, but it's all situational. But obviously, the damage on it is good. So, oh, I forgot her name, but Scorching Scimitars, however you pronounce that. Personally, the spell damage itself, if it's a single target, is really really good. But Divided, it's not worth it unless you've literally like pulled out every single blade. But I'm gonna put this in S tier, not for, well, I want to put it in S tier, but I want to put it in S tier for just the graciousness and the beauty of what is this spell. But obviously, if I'm gonna be like genuine with it, I'm just gonna put it as B tier because can't be trolling. Bugs used to be so good. Getting rid of all those blades. But obviously it doesn't do that anymore, so Bugsy's just going to go into A tier. Like, it's a good spell. Raging Bull, same premise. It's not great. Stable Barrage, same premise as Tempest, but obviously it's just relying on the Shadow Pip on every 5 or 6 rounds, depending on your Shadow Pip rating. You're gonna get that, but overall, good spell, but reliant on the Snowball Barrage. Once again, same premise. Great, isn't great damage. Situational. Mystic Colossus used to be so good until they nerfed basically all the Shadow Pips into the ground. But overall, in my personal preference, STA if you're a Myth Wizard, we don't have enough Mythies and we need more Mythies. Nested Fury. Balance spells just aren't that good, really, in my personal opinion. Like, they might look great, but I don't know. They just ain't it for me, and this is my personal preference, so I'm just gonna put that into B tier. And Wings of Fate. I don't know. The heal's good, but obviously that depends on your outgoing and incoming healing as well. So once again, that's very situational based. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put that into C tier, and yeah, that's my rating for what I personally believe in 2023. What it should be for me, at least anyway, and that's how I rate them. With obviously Tempest, Fire Dragon, Scarecrow, Stormlord, Cthulhu, and I forgot what the spell's called. I don't know what it's called, but yeah, that's my list. So unprofessional. I'm so sorry, but yeah. If you guys enjoyed this video and thought that what my opinions of this is relatively accurate, please drop a comment below and say your opinions or say what you agree with, what you disagree with. And obviously, if you enjoyed, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know if you want more videos like this, maybe rating what schools are better for this year, and all sorts. But thank you for watching.